to be with all of you today to talk about something really important. St. Joseph's University has delivered to the community of Brooklyn for over 100 years now education to individuals who otherwise might not get an education. And that was the vision of the Sisters of St. Joseph. It continues to be our vision today. The university reaches out to the people of Brooklyn, of all ethnicities, all religions, and we try to create a community of learning and knowledge which sends our students into the community to transform the community for the better. And we follow our certain core values which are critical to us, values of intellectual rigor, spiritual depth, integrity, social responsibility and service. All of these things are connected to every single program that we do. We have a number of incredible students with us today, along with our great benefactors, Congresswoman Velasquez and, of course, Congressman Jeffries. St. Joseph's received a $754,000 community project fund for the construction of our cybersecurity lab and also for the enhancement of STEM equipment. These are two areas that are critical to the future of the people of Brooklyn, very, very important to our students because they focus on practical things which can be accomplished in the community and which will be transformative. Cybersecurity, of course, incredibly important area for small businesses as well as for large businesses. And along with that, of course, the STEM programs that we have which support our nursing programs and healthcare professionals. The Cybersecurity Lab will allow us to educate and train the next generation of diverse cybersecurity professionals, future community partnerships through identity fraud seminars for local senior citizens and boot camps for high school students. We're going to be renovating our computer lab facility specifically for cybersecurity, instruction and training with space for classes for 15 to 25 students, but this is all related into the cloud so it can be used on both of our campuses and also throughout the city. The funding supports crucial equipment upgrades for chemistry laboratories as well, including spectroscopy tools and organic chemistry to expand our STEM programs. And the funding will also allow us to continue to train future researchers, science educators, and healthcare professionals. We're so grateful to Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, Congresswoman Velasquez for their support of this project and for their work in Washington on behalf of the Brooklyn community. It's our pleasure to have both of you here on campus today and look forward to wonderful opportunities and connections in the future. Thank you both so much.
I'll be quick. Don said most of the things that really matter, I think. I really want to thank Congressman Jeffries and Congresswoman Velasquez for their investment in the future of St. Joseph's students. We've been here for 100 years, more than 100 years, and our dedicated faculty have provided students with a wonderful education for a really long time. And this is just going to enhance our ability to continue to do that over the course of the next 100 years. And we'll make the Brooklyn community a much better place, and that's really what we want as well. Don's right. We are very much a sort of a community-oriented, a community-rooted university. So in addition to the cybersecurity infrastructure, I also want to point out that this earmark is going to help us to really outfit our organic chemistry lab in a much more sort of amazing way than ever before. The funding you provided for us is going to allow our students in the basic sciences and our very significant nursing program to really get a much better education than they've been able to get. And so this is going to be great for our community as well. Our science faculty are already talking about new summer programs we could possibly run in this new lab for our local communities, high school students, allowing them to sort of really help to nurture this new generation of STEM students. So again, on behalf of the academic community of St. Joe's, I want to thank both of you, Representative Jeffries and Velasquez, and I hope that we continue our partnerships in the future.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Congresswoman Velasquez. Since January, because of redistricting, now St. Joseph's sits in my district, and it's an honor for me to be here It's a thrilling experience to be here. As a former professor at Hunter College and the University of Puerto Rico, there's nothing more fulfilling and rewarding to be surrounded by students. You are the future of our community and the nation. And I want to thank leader Hakeem Jeffries, because he was the one that really secured this funding. And I just provided my vote to pass the budget. But it is I want to thank him because he didn't have to invite me to be here, but he has been instrumental in introducing me to the new part of my district. And I know that I have big shoes to fill, but I will promise you that I will be here working for this community and for every institution that is important, especially now that everyone wants to come into Brooklyn and moved into Brooklyn. I want students to come to Brooklyn and see the opportunities of a great education with institutions such as St. Joseph. As the former chair of the Small Business Committee, and I hope that you got PPP money, because I was the one who worked on that legislation as the chair of the Small Business Committee. But as the ranking member of the Small Business Committee, it really is a great opportunity to see this functional cybersecurity lab, not only to be established or to be expanded, but looking forward to innovative ideas that could be incorporated into the services that you would be able to provide maybe to other institutions working with the federal government. The fact of the matter is that this is so important, not only as a national scare me and that I am really worried about is how difficult it is for any small business, particularly the most vulnerable, women-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, Hispanic-owned businesses, businesses in underserved community, to be vulnerable to any cybersecurity attack. It will take just one hacker to be successful, and that could put away a small business. So this is why it is so important. Thank you, Hakeem, for securing the funding. And let me introduce to you one of the greatest elected officials that I have ever come to know. And he is very serious about his job. The kind of leadership that so far he has been able to provide gives me optimism that no matter how difficult the political climate is in Washington, rest assured that Hakeem Jeffries will be there giving and providing the kind of leadership that is needed so that we do right by the American people. Thank you, and let me introduce to you Hakeem Jeffries.
Thank you, Congresswoman Velasquez, a tremendous public servant, and no one is going to work harder on behalf of St. Joseph's University than your new Congresswoman Nydia Velasquez. As you will see by her presence here today, her ideas, and she will continue to hit the ground running on your behalf. President Baumgarten, to the distinguished faculty members of the administration, to the wonderful students who have joined us here, all those assembled. Really is an honor to be present with Congresswoman Velasquez here today in connection with this funding opportunity that we worked hard to provide to St. Joseph's University, a community-based institution, as the President mentioned, that has an incredible history of being there for the community, for neighborhood students, for people throughout the borough, the city, the region, in such an incredible and authentic way. You know, when you think about some of the great conflicts in the past, there was a great conflict culminating in World War II between the free world and fascism, and the free world prevailed. And in the second half of the 20th century, there was a great conflict between capitalism as an approach to building out a strong economy and communism, and capitalism prevailed. Many people believe that the great conflict of the 21st century is between democracy and autocracy. As the 20th century showed us, either militarily, particularly in the conflict that played out in World War II and the subsequent Cold War, or economically, the American system, while not perfect, our democracy, our economic system is the strongest and most resilient. And so what our adversaries, we believe, have concluded is that they cannot defeat us economically, they cannot defeat us on the battlefield, but in many ways, online has become the new front line, where bad actors, whether they're state-sponsored bad actors, actual foreign governments, or individuals, try to expose cybersecurity vulnerabilities. And so we need to train a new generation of young people to combat those threats that are directed at us, our communities, our businesses, our consumers, and the fabric, in fact, of our democracy, as we saw in the 2016 election, and as, unfortunately, we may continue to experience. So that's why this laboratory here at St. Joseph's University will be so significant in making sure that our young people, as Congresswoman Velasquez mentioned, the future of our community, our city, and our country have the skills to be able to address the cybersecurity threats and lead the digital investigations that will be necessary to ensure the integrity of our systems and our communication. We're also excited by the opportunity that this laboratory will create in terms of preparing medical professionals, nurses, organic chemistry majors, and others in the life sciences who will also be necessary to tackle the challenges that we will continue to experience in our society and throughout the world, as evidenced by the most recent once-in-a-century pandemic that we have worked so hard as a country to overcome. And so I'm thankful for the opportunity to be able to have worked with the Congress and Congresswoman Velasquez and others in the New York delegation to make sure that we were able to provide this type of community project funding, which just became available to us in recent years. And we're thankful that we were able to make sure that St. Joseph's University was a beneficiary of that funding. And so it's my honor to present to St. Joseph's College. We'll have to edit that to university, but it shouldn't impact your funding. The best part of the name, right. But $754,000 in community project funding. Stand over here, take a photo. Mr. President. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want to thank all of you for being with us today. I want to thank Congressman Jeffries and also Congresswoman Velasquez. The motto of St. Joseph's is esse non videre, to be and not to seem, and these are leaders who really are. They don't seem to be leaders, but they really are leaders. We thank you so much for the tremendous work that you're doing for St. Joseph's and for all the institutions in Brooklyn and in this area. So thank you again.
We want to switch, slide over to Stephanie quickly.
Sure.
That's smart.